So now that we know a little bit about class variables, let's move on to another idea in object-oriented programming, which is that in Python, all classes come with some pre-existing class variables. One of them is called doc. Now this variable has got underscores on both sides of its name. Let's see this variable in action. So here I am at the Python shell window with the Python prompt, and I can type a program in here like 2 plus 2, and it gives me the correct answer. Now, I want us to recall this class called turtle that we had used some time back while drawing shapes. So I can just import that class turtle here. There. Then let me see what happens when I use the class name turtle.turtle. Remember, this was the name of the module or the file, and this was the class name. So if I use the class name with the prepackaged variable called doc, let me see what it prints out. Aha! I get some documentation on the class turtle. Now I wonder if I can use this variable doc with my class movie. So I'm back to the code for the class movie, and behind this file is my other Python file where I'm defining a whole bunch of instances of class movie. Let me go back to the code for class movie here for a second. Now here, I'm going to add some documentation at the beginning of the class movie. You may have noticed that I used triple quotes to define my documentation. Now what I can do with triple quotes is I can create documentation in multiple lines. For now, I just have the one line. So I'm going to save this file and then go to my other Python file. And here, I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and comment out any sort of print statements. There. Now I will try to print out my class movie, which is accessed by saying media.movie. I will try to print out its documentation. There. Let me save and run this file. And there it is, the documentation for my class movie. Notice how I accessed it though. I accessed it using my class name, which is movie, and a predefined class variable called doc. So now that we have successfully used this variable called doc, I have a question for you. You know, much like the variable doc, Python has a few more predefined variables. These include the variable name and module. By the way, more information about these is also available through links in the instructor notes. What I want you to do is read through the documentation in the instructor notes, and then I want you to use these variables name and module in a new program. Once you've done that, please come back to the screen and check this box.